Hi, my name is John Halterman, and I'm the owner of Beacon Wealth Management in Clarksburg, West Virginia. And I grew up in Weston, and I had an amazing childhood and absolutely loved it until about the time I became a teenager. And at that time, I decided that, Weston wasn't progressive enough for me, and I wanted to move. And I ran into an Air Force recruiter, and I asked him, what's the furthest place I can go to get away from West Virginia? And he told me Okinawa, Japan would be a great opportunity. So I joined to get away. And after my Air Force days, I stopped back in West Virginia with just the intentions of visiting my family, and I never intended to stay because, again, I felt like West Virginia was not progressive enough. But then what I realized was I missed my family, and I loved being around them. And the one thing that I knew was that regardless of where I went, I may have opportunity, but I didn't have my family. So I started thinking about it, and I started saying, how can I stay in West Virginia, and how can I do well, take care of my family, and be around the people that I loved? So I decided to go into business for myself, become an entrepreneur, and manage and organize people's financial affairs. And for the first 10, 15 years, it was absolutely wonderful because as I were meeting people, opportunities became bigger, and it gave me a chance to grow. But what I've noticed, though, in the last 5 years, is I've noticed a shift in the people of West Virginia. And the shift basically boils down to our economic conditions. In order for people to be happy, they have to be able to take care of their family. They have to be able to live here and enjoy the surroundings. But if you don't have the means to do it, it makes it tough. And what I'm talking about today is that as an owner who manages money, we look for people who've had success. We look for people who've come from larger corporations and have 401k rollovers. But if you look around West Virginia, we don't have that. We don't have a lot of public companies that are based here in West Virginia. We don't have a lot of corporations that give us a tax base and the employment base to create these rollovers. And I'm not blaming it on our government, but I'm here to ask our government, do your part. Help us. We elect our officials so that they can create a better standard of living for all of us that live here. But when economic conditions are not being advanced because of legislation, when quality of life is not being advanced because of legislation, then it makes it a struggle. And I'm not ready to give up. I remember a quote that I read from a friend of mine's office that said, don't fight the forces. And in West Virginia, we're definitely fighting the forces with our business climate. And I really don't like it. And it would be so much easier for me to pack my bags and move my family to a metro area. But what I'm asking, everybody, get involved. All of us entrepreneurs, get involved. Let's not complain. Let's do things to create better happiness. Let's do things to get involved to ask our legislature. Our legislature, I ask you, pass the laws that will make this the #1 business-friendly state in the entire union. We rank dead last in so many categories. But when you look at our fundamentals, there's a reason. The laws are not conducive for our success. So legislature, please change. People who are voting, if you can volunteer, if you can go out and give it yourself, but when you go to the polls, make sure that you look for people who have the interest of the state and not just special interest group. So again, I love the state. It is a struggle to stay, but it doesn't have to be. I ask everybody to be involved, and let's change where West Virginia is today. Thank you.